Hello, Brother Munro here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and more of me messing around with this kind of little mini-series I'm trying out, where I'm trying to build a fleet of ships that could operate together using the endgame tech, but more as a sort of reference design for those who are perhaps new to the game, or unsure how to design ships, or how you could make a good ship. So it's kind of a reference design series as well. Anyway, today we are doing the heavy cruiser, which is a really interesting ship, a really versatile ship as well. Very unusual funnel layout, but okay, get lots and lots of funnels. That should be enough. I would have hoped, because I want this thing to be able to do at least 30 knots, which it can't. Well, that doesn't make it any better. Even weirder funnel setup. There we go. It looks disgusting, but it works. Can I swap those? Can I put the big funnel? No. Oh well. So strange. I would have actually preferred, looks-wise, 4 of these. That would work as well. Anyway, for a heavy cruiser, personally, I am a big fan of the 9-inch gun. So I'm going to go for an ABX, and yes, it does look like a cut-down battleship. Secondary guns can and be very important on this type of ship for shooting destroyers and the like. So I will make sure it is fitted with variety. 2-inch guns sound useless, but can be surprisingly effective, particularly if the enemy is kind enough to use destroyers with no armor whatsoever. So we've got a bunch of smaller guns, and we've got the 4-inch secondaries. That is a pretty nice ship as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to fit this with a torpedo launcher, because whilst a heavy cruiser can use torpedoes quite effectively, it's quite a big target, and you don't really want to be using it as a torpedo boat, in my opinion. I'm just going to check what sort of sizes we can go. Okay, there. I could probably go for the smaller one. And let's go for where's it changing? I was going for the slightly larger size. Let's go for 20,000 tons as a round number. That's quite a big heavy cruiser, if I'm honest. But for a late game ship, I think that's about right. Very long range as standard. We will get the maneuverability upgrades. We'll get the armor upgrade. In terms of cost, I'd like to try and keep the cost under 40 million. But we shall see. Just a hydrophone on this. We are going to go with the good radio systems, because I feel that you would often send these ships out on their own convoy raiding and things like that. We don't have to worry about torpedoes. We're going to go with autoloaders and advanced hydraulics. In terms of gun, currently one of these guns, just with the leadite 2 and a standard shell, okay, 20 inches of belt effective. Now this thing has, or will have once I finish with it, probably effective. Well, at the moment it has an effective 12-inch belt. So these guns could pen an enemy heavy cruiser at 7,500. That's not good enough. So I'm going to go with tube powder, and I'm going to go with super heavy shells. This gives us the maximum punch possible for these guns in terms of penetration power. It also means our 4-inch guns are actually a viable threat to most things. They'll actually overpin like cruisers probably, but they will significantly add to our firepower hopefully. And even the 2-inch guns can do some damage. So hopefully that'll be all the firepower we need. Now, in terms of protection, all or nothing. Ballooning in costs. Torpedo protection, though, is... I think we definitely want some anti-flooding systems. And I'm going to go for a double bottom hull with an anti-torpedo 3. So we have an anti-torpedo system. Actually, we've got the displacement. But I'm going to increase my bulkheads to maximum. So we do have a torpedo protection system. But if we get hit by a big anti-capital ship torpedo, we're pretty much toast. And hopefully with the auxiliary engines, the propeller shaft and things like that, we shouldn't be taking too much in the way of torpedo hits. I forget where it tells you the turning circle. It tells you somewhere in here. Here we are. Turning circle is 451 meters, and the ship itself is 2 about 100 meters long. So, no, 200 meters long. So, you know, 2 ship lengths it can turn around, which is not that bad. Pitch and roll, very, very good. So this should be a nice, accurate ship. I do need to fix the weight offset, but we have plenty of room for armor. Now, I love a heavily armored heavy cruiser, so I'm going to go for a 12.6, 4.2, 12. Three, shave a little bit of weight off. There we go. And then we're going to put the rest on the tower. There we go. So this is a pretty heavily armoured ship. 12-inch belt means that from our own guns, if we're facing another heavy cruiser with 9-inch super heavy tube powder shells, they would have to get within 2,500 meters for them to be able to go through our main belt. So we are pretty well protected against enemy cruisers in terms of gunfire. We just have to watch out for torpedoes. We do have a little bit of protection if one does happen to hit us. And that level of protection is not far off what you'll see on a battleship. So very heavily protected. Pretty fast. I think this should do well. Let's test her out and see what the enemy has come up with. Certainly a big ship. I don't think I fixed the offset. Nope, leave battle. No, not leave battle. Oh, God. Okay, never press leave battle. Oh, I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. Never, ever press that button. Jesus. Pretty much the same shit. Oh, no, it's not. I needed the very long range. I was wondering why the armor wasn't exactly the same. 3 and 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. There we go. Okay, so more or less the same ship as best I can, but I fixed the offset. Just by moving the X turret a bit closer to the superstructure. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. We've got the very long range, you've got maximum bulkheads, diesel engines, all the rest of it. So, lovely stuff. This time, let's go. Let's find the enemy and see if we can't take them out. So yeah, I am a little bit over my kind of budget that I set for myself. I was thinking around the 40 million mark. I've gone to 43.6. So it is a little bit expensive, but I have high hopes for this ship. Right, let's go. Opponent would be kind enough to come closer to us. As well, one of the benefits of this particular ship is the attack angle is actually defined by the superstructure here, more or less. So the fire arc of this gun is parallel to this. So if you point the rear superstructure, the corner of this superstructure, so that it lines up with the enemy ship. So a little bit more. That. The X turret can fire. So that shows you your angle of attack, which is a really nice little feature. Now they're headed away from us. Scored a good hit there, actually. So we better chase after them. You can see this thing does turn pretty well. Now this shouldn't be a free spinning turret, but the barrels are clipping through the superstructure. It's not. I didn't think it would be a free spinning turret that can go all the way around. There we go. Let's have a look at the enemy ship. Not identified it yet. It's just using smaller guns than us. It only has 6. A couple of torpedo launchers though. Oh, we took a hit back. Okay, so it's using 8-inch guns, a classic heavy cruiser weapon. Apart from the very strange funnels, this is quite a nice ship. Right, let's go. So there we took a hit on our extended belt that was only a partial. That's very good news. Another one mid-deck, also a partial. That's also extremely good news. That is not. Torpedo in the water. Hard to starboard. I think they might have launched one. We might be able to just take it on the nose, which is a lot better than taking it midship. Ow! Okay, so that was a pretty big torpedo hit. It's my own fault for just sailing in a straight line. But it does let us see how the Mark I heavy cruiser here responds to damage. So that was a big torpedo hit. Damaged the entire front section of the ship, knocked out one engine, and has caused some light flooding that we should be able to pump out. Enemy has been identified as the Kisokuma. Much smaller ship, much cheaper ship, just fired a torpedo at me. 35 knots, so it's a bit faster, but terrible armour in comparison. She just fired a torpedo. So even with that battle damage, we are able to make almost 19 knots, which, whilst not great, is respectable. Another torpedo comes past us. They are running out of those things, though. One left. This is quite long ranged for a cruiser duel, 12 kilometers. Just waiting for it to fire our last torpedo. There we go. How many torpedoes are they actually? 24 inch. So that was a max damage torpedo hit that we took. And yeah, it caused a lot of damage to the ship, to the structure, but we are still fighting and we're not sunk. So, right, their 5-inch guns are opening up. Good hit. Going right through their armour. Go. Get all 9 guns firing. Only a 6% chance to hit, but we're getting there. Still quite long range. The enemy is definitely being cagey and wily here. I'm going to stay as far away as possible and poke holes in the ship with torpedoes, but I think I'll avoid that. Take a couple of hits to the tower there, which is not quite as heavily armoured, but still pretty decent. Scored another hit. Repellents they're using out of interest. They're using TNT standard shells. So yeah, that was an oxygen 24-inch torpedo hit that we took. It was probably the most advanced and powerful torpedo tech in Ultimate Admiral, and yeah, we have survived that hit. I think that's a pretty good for a heavy cruiser. They're normally toast if they get hit by something like that. And I did design the ship to more to withstand the smaller 18 to 20-inch torpedoes that you often face. So they run low on ammunition of all things. Battle has been going on for quite a while. I'll switch the main guns to save ammunition. Let the 4-inch guns do a bit of the work. Not causing little bits of damage. They've come across the same problem, incidentally. So it's only gentlemanly for us to cease fire on the main battery for a bit. Plus it lets us see what the secondary guns can actually do. that's not an unarmoured ship. Oh, our main guns are now... thought they had a good shot. And it did. Main tower destroyed it. No. Destroyed a secondary gun there. You can see here, like, this is one of the things I love about this game, apart from those insanely loud guns, is you can see the holes being punched in the side of the hull here. And you can see here that this secondary gun actually has been taken out by a shell, and you can see the hit. I love that. That is a bit too much lead on there. Hits. Flooding hit. That's what we need. Especially with minimum bulkheads. Flooding hit's really important because they slow the enemy ship down, which will make our guns a lot more accurate. You can see the accuracy starting to climb here. Almost in range with 2-inch guns. But we're starting to cause some proper damage now. And down she goes. Definitely the Achilles heel of that ship is taking flooding hits. When we finally got one, that was pretty much the end of it. So there we go. The Mark I Munro Design Yards Heavy Cruiser for your consideration. I enjoyed that ship. That performed quite well. Yeah, pleased with that. Hope to see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. But until then, bye-bye.